it's Wes.
And Shonda, and welcome to DinkLife. We decided to venture up to Cedar Point today, America's roller coast, as they call themselves. The season just started about a week or so ago, so we decided to come up and check out what's new and get on some old things and enjoy ourselves. So come along with us. So one cool thing about Cedar Point that we didn't get at Kings Island is we get early entry with our Platinum Pass. I think at Kings Island you have to be a Prestige or a Prestige Plus pass holder. So we did manage to get in here about 20 minutes before the general public, which is great because it's not super busy yet. And we're getting to sort of just walk down the middle of the, I don't know, strip, whatever you want to call it, with not a lot of people. So it's kind of nice. So we just got off the Wild Mouse, which is the newest coaster here at Cedar Point, right behind us. And actually, you know what? I loved it.
Yeah, I thought it was really good.
I really wasn't expecting much. You know, you've ridden one Wild Mouse, you've ridden them all. But honestly, this one was a lot more fun because it does turn while you're going.
Yeah.
The track was super smooth.
Super smooth.
None of the trim brakes were jerky or anything like that. It was just fun. It was really fun.
Yeah, it was a really good ride.
Yeah,
I liked it.
Enjoyed it a lot.
It was a good addition to the park.
I would agree with that. GateKeeper, which is right behind us. It's one of the more popular rides here. The first hill is great, the way it flips you over and you kind of go straight down to the ground. Yeah. That part's really fun. The rest of the ride for me is just okay.
Yeah, I like it. I mean, I think it's fun.
Yeah.
It's kind of fun going through the gates over the entrance to the park.
And see, I'm not paying enough attention, so to me that part's just okay.
Yeah.
But it is a fun ride. You know, if you love thrill rides, this is the place to be, and this is one of the better rides in the park.
Yeah, there's a similar ride to it in Dollywood that we actually like kind of a little better in this.
I would agree
the Wild
with that.
Eagle, yeah.
Yeah, I would agree with that. But this one's pretty good.
Yeah, it's good.
Oh my God, the bar is closed. It is only 10 o'clock in the morning though, so that's, you know, might have something to do with it. So we are at a shop in the front of the store where we finally actually found some pretty good merch. They've got the posters like we bought at Kings Island of all of the rides that are here, plus all of the old stuff, which is really cool. And they've got sweatshirts and t-shirts for every roller coaster that's in here, as well as patches and pins. So I'd say if you want some decent merch, this is the place to come. So here we are on the Sky Ride, which is one of the classics here at Cedar Point, in my opinion. Not too many parks have these left, which I think is what makes it a lot of fun. You know, you get a great view of the park. It's just a nice little ride, a nice way to check out things if you don't know the layout of the park. And you just get a lovely little view of everything as you're riding along. So I enjoy them. I wish more parks still had them, actually.
Yeah, beautiful little...
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't take much time. You know, who doesn't have 15 minutes to ride the Sky Ride? Steel Vengeance, which we have ridden. It's an RMC coaster, and from what I understand, looking at reviews and lists and all that kind of stuff, it's one of the top 3 RMC coasters. I don't love it.
I think it's amazing.
I think it's about 30 to 45 seconds too long, and the end, there's a lot of twists and turns, which made me sick to my stomach. The beginning part was fine.
Yeah.
Then the last 30 seconds kind of just really got to me. For my money, the best RMC coaster I've ridden is Lightning Rod. I like that one much better. But Wes disagrees with me. So
yeah, I like this one. It's super intense.
I think to each his own. You just kind of have to ride it for yourself and see what you think. But it is very popular. People do love it. And like I said, if it were 30 seconds shorter, I think it would be great.
It's silky smooth, too.
It is that.
Yeah, amazing ride.
Yep. All right, guys, so we just got off Mavrick, which is right behind us. This is a really cool little coaster. It has a launch hill, but it doesn't go real fast. It's just quick up
Not
the
the
hill.
first launch.
Right.
The second launch is real hard.
But there is a second launch in the tunnel that's super quick, and it goes right into a bank. The only thing I have to say about it that I don't like is right after that bank, you pull up a hill and go into some trim brakes, so it really slows down the momentum that you pick up on the second launch. Otherwise, this is a super intense coaster with a lot of banks and turns, so you got to make sure you keep your head back, otherwise your neck's going to get beat up. But I like it. It's a lot of fun.
Yeah, it's
a good, fun coaster.
It reminds me a little bit of like the Velocicoaster and Universal Studios, but that's a much better coaster still than this
and
coaster.
much smoother.
Yeah,
but
yeah,
this
yeah.
one's older.
It's old, yeah.
And so for what it is, it's a lot of fun.
Yep, it's a good coaster.
So we're here in the store for Mavrick, the merch store, and it's all just Mavrick stuff, which is kind of cool. They've got quite a big selection of shirts and sweatshirts if this is your coaster pick for you. So we just got some lunch at this restaurant right behind us. I would love to tell you the name of it, but I'll be damned if I even remember. We just walked out of there. But anyway, we both got some steak, and you get with that one side and a biscuit. I got some potatoes, and Wes got some Brussels sprouts. This platter is $20 for each person. We did get a little bit of a discount, but not much. And these 2 beers cost just as much as the food did. They were $37. So, just be prepared to spend a lot of money if you're coming here and you plan on eating and drinking inside of the park. That's the one thing here that is not cheap. So we are walking through Frontier Town right now, which I personally think is probably the best themed area of the park.
Yeah, it looks by far the best.
That's one thing I myself think they need to work on here a little bit more is theming.
It's pretty plain at the front
It
of the park.
is. This area is pretty nice, and they have cleaned up a lot over by the Lake Erie. And have made it a boardwalk area where the wild mouse is, and that is new for this year. That wasn't here before. If they hadn't done that, this would be the only area of the park that is actually themed. The rest of it just kind of is. And that's why, as we talked about in our Kings Island video, we think Kings Island's just a little bit better in that regard.
Yeah.
There are a lot more coasters here, a lot more thrill rides, so if you're strictly into that kind of thing, then this clearly is the park for you. If you're more into family rides and theming, not so much.
Nope.
But again, it's sort of just that, what's the payoff, right? If you come here just for the roller coasters and the rides, great, the park is awesome. If you're coming here looking for a lot of heavy theming and family rides, I don't necessarily know that you're going to find that.
No. It's not the greatest park for kids.
Now, to their credit, they did a couple years ago put in a boat ride that, if you've been to Disney and you're familiar with Jungle Cruise, is along those lines as far as the ride goes. However, having said that, Jungle Cruise is exponentially better. Yeah, I mean, it's just, nobody does Disney like Disney. So, but it's a nice little family ride, so maybe they're branching out in that direction, which I definitely think they should. So we just got off the Millennium Force, which is an Intamin Giga coaster here at Cedar Point. Millennium, as you probably guessed, it was built around the year 2000, so it's been here for 23 years. And I gotta tell you, it's my favorite steel coaster that I have ever ridden. I love it. It's probably the main reason I come here.
Yeah, it's a good coaster, really good.
It's a 300-foot drop. I always gray out at the bottom of the hill. And the airtime and the bunny hills on this coaster are spectacular. It still rides like a dream. It's super smooth.
Super smooth.
I love it. Love it.
Yeah, so much speed in the bunny hills.
Yeah, it's fantastic. And I mean, if you put your hands up, you will fly right out of your seat, which to me is so much fun. And honestly, I don't need all the bells and whistles. I don't need tons of inversions or things like that. Like, I love just a simple, hilly coaster with some speed.
Yep.
So this coaster is great, and if you don't come here for any other reason to ride this Giga coaster, it's totally worth it.
Yeah, well worth it. Speedstone Extreme Coaster Gear merch shop. This used to go along with Top Thrill Dragster, which is no longer in existence, and we'll check out what's going on over there in a minute. We can see if we can see anything going on. But the merch in here looks to just be like Under Armour, Vans, a couple of just general Cedar Point shirts, and then there are a couple zip-up sweatshirts for the Gemini and the Magnum and Mavrick and things of that nature. So behind us is the track for the not currently operating what used to be Top Thrill Dragster.
And at one point in time, this was one of my favorite rides in the park. I loved it. It had a launch of 0 to 120 in under 6 seconds. I think the hill is 400 feet or was 400 feet. Supposedly they are reskinning this. They're retheming it and doing something different with it. I'm sure there's rumors out there or news out there about what they are doing with it, but honestly, since they shut it down at the beginning of last year and said they were doing something with it, I haven't seen or heard anything. So there hasn't really been a lot of news, and I don't actually see anything going on back there. The walls are up around it and everything, but I don't notice any construction, and it doesn't seem like there's much going on. So not entirely sure what the plan is for this thing or when it's going to reopen or what it's going to be, but there it is.
Yeah, I would guess we find out sometime later this year in the fall.
I would think so too. They put a big ride in just about every other year, and then in the off years a smaller ride.
Yeah.
So there's no telling.
Yeah, and supposedly the rumor they're going for 500 feet on it.
Are they?
Yeah.
Gosh, I hadn't heard that. So there you go. Not sure what's happening, but it is still here, and they are doing something with it.
Yep. It's probably going to be a single spike, 500 foot.
Good
but
enough.
It'll set the new record if they can do it.
Which is what they always aim to do here. So
Yep.
stay alert for updates. So we just got off the Gemini here, which is a sort of racer type of coaster.
Yeah, it's a racer.
And I'm sure someone will correct me if I'm wrong in the comments, but this ride has been here since the late 70s. I want to say 78. So it's a classic. It's still really a lot of fun. There's some really good airtime if you don't tighten your seatbelt all the way down. And it's just like a fun, well, it's a wooden coaster, but it has a steel track.
It's a steel track,
Yeah, so
it's fun. Nothing amazing, but it's
just
entertaining.
like a nice old ride.
Usually a short wait.
It's a good starter coaster, I feel like.
Yeah.
If you don't do gigantic coasters, or if you're younger and you're just starting out, this is a great one to start on.
And only had a 5-minute wait.
That too. So that was great. So right behind us is Valravn, which is a suspended coaster here, meaning when the coaster goes over the top of the hill, it kind of hangs there for a few seconds and then drops. It's fun. It's a good little ride. It's nice and smooth.
Super smooth.
Yeah, it's a good time.
Probably not the best drop coaster I've ever ridden on, but it's
No,
fun.
I would say probably for me that's in Williamsburg at Busch Gardens or at Williamsburg in Florida.
Yeah.
But this is right up there. It's a nice, good drop coaster. And I would also say if you're just starting out riding roller coasters, this would be a good first drop coaster.
Yeah, not too bad.
Yeah.
And it's only one drop. They don't get you with the second drop on the second hill.
No, and I think there's only 2 inversions, so that it's not terrible.
No, and they're pretty smooth inversions.
Yeah, so overall, thumbs up.
Yeah, really good coaster.
Okay, so we've been looking at merch all day, and I have yet to see anything that I thought was so nice I had to have it. These are fantastic. Look at these little Snoopy headbands. I love them so much. Oh, Jesus Christ. I can't even read the price. That's how bad my eyesight is.
$10.
Oh, that's not bad. Really? $10? I wonder if I should buy them for $10.
You could.
They're so damn cute. I know. They're so cute. I might have to buy these. Seriously. That's dirt cheap. Thus far, this is the store that has had the cutest stuff in it. I have to say. This little beanie cap is adorbs. I do love the Snoop. Look at little Snoops. Now this is awesome. Which is right behind us, and this is the oldest coaster in the park and the only fully wooden coaster left.
Which is sad.
It is sad. It's sad because I love these old wood coasters so much. You know, they're not the fastest.
Well, you need to make new good ones, too.
Of course.
Yeah.
But man alive, the airtime on those bunny hills, I swear to you, it feels like the car is going to come flying off the track. And for whatever reason, it makes me giggle so hard when we are on those, and I have tears streaming down my face. So bravo. I love it.
It's a classic.
Love it.
Yeah.
Love it.
It's a really good coaster.
It's great.
Usually there's no wait on it, too.
That's a great thing, too. We waited 5 minutes, maybe.
Yeah.
So, love it.
Yep. Great.
Hey everybody, so we just finished up our day at Cedar Point. It's the beginning of the 2023 season. None of the shows were running yet and none of the water rides were open.
Nope.
Which is fine, it's not a big deal. It did look like everything was set to open on May 27th though, so just, you know, if you're coming, just know that. One other cool thing about this park, just like Kings Island, if you wear a hip pack, you can pretty much leave it on all the rides. I think the only thing you cannot take it on is Steel Vengeance. Everything has to go in a locker for Steel Vengeance.
Yeah. That's probably the only one.
Yeah, I think so. It was a fairly decent day. We got on everything that we wanted to get on. And the longest we waited was 45 minutes for Millennium Force. Now, having said that, they were running 3 trains on that ride today, and man, they were all 3 sitting in the station at the same time.
Yeah.
The
Only
ops
one-
on that today.
Only one train out on the track.
Oh,
really.
it was terrible. It was
Yeah.
like glacial.
Yeah,
If
slow
they had all
operations.
3 running at the same time, it would have went much faster. I don't think we probably would have even waited a half an hour.
No,
So I'm not really sure what was going on there, if it's just training because it's the beginning of the season.
I think that's what it is.
That was really the only ride that we had issues with. Pretty much everything else was going pretty quickly.
Pretty quick
So,
today, yeah.
So my guess is it's just like a training issue. It's the beginning of the season, and
Yeah, probably short-staffed a little too.
I would say so. But otherwise, I mean, it was a beautiful day. It wasn't terribly busy, and we had a good day.
Yeah.
Fun time. So if you're definitely looking for the park with the most roller coasters and the biggest thrills, this is definitely the place for you.
For sure.
Family rides, not so much. None of the kiddie rides were running today, which I thought was kind of weird.
There was a few, yeah.
But for the most
not a
part,
lot.
not so much.
I think they're just this short-staffed at the moment.
Could be. It's still really early on.
Yeah,
But,
it's early in the season.
I've been coming to this park my whole life. We just live an hour and a half down the road. So, this is our home base. And no matter what, it does give me pretty nostalgic feeling. So if you get a chance, come on up here and ride some rides.
Yeah, it's a
and
good time.
As we always say, remember,
Whatever
you
you
decide to
decide to
do,
do,
just get out there and do it.